Welcome to Missouri Sports Talk. I'm your host, Cameron Staley, and today we've got something pretty special. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen anybody do a high school football tournament bracket just like it's March Madness style and predict every single game? Because I know I haven't. So let's go ahead and make this a Missouri Sports Talk exclusive thing. Let's usher in a new side of social media and predict every single game of the Missouri high school tournament. Every single class, 8-man class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the YouTube fam, you'll see this in 7 parts. It'll be all together in one video up Friday morning before all the games happen. And on TikTok, these will be out periodically. So right now it is Monday at 3:24. I'll try to get this out around 5 or 6 o'clock, and we'll start rolling throughout the week. I'll put out 7 parts on TikTok. It'll be all together on YouTube. So let's waste no more time. Let's put up the brackets on the screen. So we'll start with the left side. There's only a few games on Friday night this week. There's a lot of pretty bad teams playing. So we will go quick through these first few rounds. So this Friday, I will take Liberal over Jasper. I'll take Rich Hill, DeKalb, Plattsburgh, Mound City, and North Andrew. I think North Andrew and South Holt will probably be the game of the week for 8-man. The district semifinals, I'll take Lockwood, New Heights over Greenfield, Archie, Appleton City over Drexel, Bishop, LeBlanc, Plattsburgh on the road. I think they're a pretty solid team. They're kind of struggling this year, if we're going to be honest, though. Rockport and West Nodaway. For my district champs on the left side of the bracket, I'll take Lockwood, Archie, Bishop LeBlanc, and Rockport. For the Elite 8, the state quarterfinals, Archie would be hosting Lockwood. I think the home team wins in that one. And Rockport hosting Bishop LeBlanc. I like how Bishop is playing this year, so I gotta take Bishop LeBlanc in that one. They would end up hosting Archie in the Final Four. I think the Whirlwinds end up winning that one on the road to make it to St. Joseph for the state championship game. On the right side of the bracket, on Friday night, we have St. Paul Lutheran. I'll take them over Sweet Springs. I'll take Slater, Oric, Wellington Napoleon, King City, Worth County, and Knox County. In the district semifinals, I'll take Concordia, Northwest Hughesville, Bramer, Hardin Central, Albany, South Nodaway, North Shelby, and Paris. For my district champs, I will take Concordia, Bramer, Albany, and North Shelby. Now, I think the top right of the bracket will be pretty interesting. I think that Bramer ends up getting this one done pretty easily, if we're going to be honest. They already played this year. It was a little close. I think Bramer, with it being a home game, it'll be a little bit easier. And Albany on the road at North Shelby, I think they win it. Then they would host Bramer. I think that the Bobcats end up getting this one done. For my state championship in St. Joseph, it will be Bramer versus Archie. Archie won last year. Bramer, they were my preseason state championship pick, so I am going to stay with them. I will take the Bramer Bobcats winning this one. 8-man state champions, Bramer. Let's go to Class 1. There are only 4 districts in Class 1 instead of the regular 8 in all the other 6 classes. I think they have enough teams to do 8, but they just decided to do 4. So I don't really know, but let's go ahead. Let's put up the brackets. We'll start with the left side. Very, very quiet Friday night this week. I will take Veritas Christian, I want to say is how you pronounce it. If not, I apologize. I think they end up winning this game. I'll take Kabul losing to Miller. Sorry, I'm taking Miller winning, and then Lincoln winning. And then district, I guess this would be district quarterfinals. St. Vincent, Van Far, Crystal City, Charleston, Marionville, Windsor, Adrian, and Ash Grove are my picks there. For the district semifinals, we would see St. Vincent over Van Far, in my opinion. I really like how Van Far is playing this year, but I feel like St. Vincent's just kind of different, if we're going to be honest. And Charleston versus Crystal City, probably not going to be the most entertaining game. I will take Charleston in that one. Marionville versus Windsor. Windsor's coming off a pretty awful upset. They lost to Butler. Butler's sitting at 5-4 this year. I think Marionville ends up winning that one. Adrian versus Ash Grove. Ash Grove's been playing close in every single one of their games. I think Adrian ends up getting that one done. For my final 4 guys, my district champions, I think St. Vincent ends up winning the district and Marionville ends up winning their district. And that would mean that Marionville would be hosting St. Vincent in the Final Four. So give me Marionville going back to Columbia for a state championship game. On the right side of the bracket, only 3 more games on this Friday. It's a very, very quiet Friday for Class 1. I will take Crest Ridge over Lynn. I'll take Russellville and Gallatin. For the district quarterfinals, I'll take Tipton, Salisbury, West Strand, Harrisburg, Penny, Polo over West Platte. That one was one that was really interesting to predict. Milan and Putnam County. To make it to the district semifinals on the right side of the bracket, I'll take Tipton versus Harrisburg. I think that Harrisburg can get it done against West Strand. We'll see, though. I think that would be a really fun game. And I'll take an upset here. Polo over Penny. Penny is the 1 seed in this district, but they're 5-4. It's just a really weak district in this one. Somehow Milan did not get the 1 seed. I'm taking them over Putnam County, which means in the district championship game, it'll be Tipton beating Harrisburg, in my opinion, and Milan at home over Polo. I think Milan would be at home. And then the Final Four, Milan should be hosting Tipton. I'll take Tipton making it to the state championship game in Columbia. And my state championship pick, I have to take Marionville going back-to-back in Class 1. It just feels right. Great team for Marionville. We'll see if they can get it done. We are in Class 2 now. So let's go ahead and look at the brackets. On the left side, this is the busiest class all this Friday here in Week 10. There's a lot of classes that have a pretty good amount of bye weeks. Class 2, not a lot of rest. Only 7 teams have a bye week this week. So let's talk about the games this week. I will take Central, Caruthersville, Scott City, St. Pius X, Festus, Bowling Green, Jefferson, Festus, Sarcoxy, Lamar, Stockton, Butler, Kip Casey, Legacy, and Holden. For the district semifinals, I will take Valley Catholic, Caruthersville, Herman, Bowling Green, Warsaw, Lamar, Pembroke Hill, and Kip KC in those games. To make it out of districts, my 4 district champions on the left side of this bracket in Class 2, I think Valley Catholic gets it done over Caruthersville. Bowling Green on the road against Herman. Warsaw, I think they beat Lamar, and, Lamar's a dynasty. We all know that. But this year, they're 5-4. They are struggling. I think Warsaw takes advantage of that. And Pembroke Hill, I think they end up I think they can beat Kip Casey Legacy. I got to watch Kip Casey Legacy. I just think that Pembroke Hill is probably the better team, if we're going to be honest. Making it to the Final Four, my state quarterfinals games here, I will take Valley Catholic on the road over Bowling Green. I was actually at that game. Week 8, they've already played at Bowling Green. I think Valley Catholic goes back for a second time this season and gets it done again. And Warsaw, I think they win on the road at Pembroke Hill to make it to the Final Four. Now, I believe Warsaw would end up hosting Valley Catholic in the Final Four. Either way, whoever's hosting that game, I think Valley Catholic makes it back to Columbia this year. On the right side of the bracket, like I said, very, very busy week here in Week 10 for Class 2. North Callaway and South Callaway, this is a very big rivalry. I think North Callaway gets it done. I'll take Father Tolton, Centralia, Fairgrove, the only 1 seed that does not have a bye. I think they get this one done pretty easily. Thayer, Liberty Mountain View, Ava, Macon, Monroe City, Palmyra, South Harrison, Mid-Buchanan, and East Buchanan. In the district semifinals, I think Lafayette County gets it done quite easily against North Callaway. I'll take Father Tolton, Fairgrove, Ava, South Shelby, Monroe City, Brookfield, and Mid-Buchanan defeating East Buchanan. I had a tough time predicting that one. Mid-Buchanan actually just beat East Buchanan last Friday, 7-3, but I just feel like East Buchanan is kind of having a little bit of a down year, if we're going to be honest. For the district championship games, I think Lafayette County makes it out and beats Father Tolton. I think Fairgrove takes care of Ava. South Shelby over Monroe City. And I will take Mid-Buchanan over Brookfield. I know I'm repping Brookfield. I'm sorry that I'm taking you all to lose in the district championship. I think Mid-Buchanan is just kind of different this year. So Fairgrove would end up hosting Lafayette County. I think they win that one at home. And I think I'll take another home team here, Mid-Buchanan over South Shelby, to make it to the Final Four. In the Final Four, that would end up being Mid-Buchanan hosting Fairgrove. I think Fairgrove goes up to Fawcett and gets it done, makes it to the state championship game, where I'm having a tough time deciding Fairgrove versus Valley Catholic. I want to know what you guys think, but I've got to take Fairgrove in this one. We're going to Class 3 now. So let's put the brackets up on the screen with the left side. Pretty busy weekend for Class 3. So we'll start off with Fredericktown and Potosi. Sorry, I'm tripping on my words here. I'll take Potosi and Central Park Hills and St. Genevieve in that district. Then moving down, I'll take Live for Life, John Burroughs, and St. Clair. I'll take Cuba, Mount Vernon, Mountain Grove, who just moved up into the top 10. Congratulations, guys. Reed Springs, and Forsyth. For the district semifinals, I'll take Dexter, Central Park Hills, St. Francis Borgia over Live for Life. That was a tough one to predict. I could definitely see Live for Life getting that upset done. I'll take John Burroughs, Stratford, Mount Vernon, Seneca, and Forsyth. For my district champions, I'm going to take Dexter over Central Park Hills, the reigning champions. They're just not as good this year. I like how Dexter's playing, so give me the Bearcats. I'll take St. Francis Borgia over John Burroughs. I'll take Stratford over Mount Vernon. That was a tough one to take. And Seneca over Forsyth for my district champions. To make it to the Final Four, Dexter versus Borgia. This one will be at Borgia, but I just feel like Dexter's the better team. And I may be playing this one a little bit safe as well because there is a chance that Live for Life makes it out. So then I don't have my top left of the bracket busted if Live for Life gets that done in week 11. So I am going to take Dexter and make it to the Final Four. And I will take Seneca at home over Stratford. I just saw Stratford last week. I really like them this year, so I took them to win the district championship, but I think the season ends at district quarterfinals. For the state champion, state championship representative on the left side of the bracket, to make it to Columbia, Dexter will be hosting Seneca, so that's my biggest thing. I'm going to take Dexter here. I like how Seneca's playing this year, but I feel like Dexter's just a little more explosive. They got a better defense, so I think they make it to Columbia. On the right side of the bracket, this top right, it's so weak. It's not even funny. 3 and 6 St. Charles West is the bye, so it's just an awful district. This may be the worst district in Missouri this year. I'll take Hallsville, Wright City, and Moberly making it out this Friday. I'll also take Southern Boone, Boonville, Knob Noster, Summit Christian, St. Michael, Oak Grove, Cameron, Maryville, and Chillicothe. For the district semifinals, give me St. Charles West, Wright City, Blair Oaks. That one's not going to be close at all. Southern Boone just broke both running backs' legs on purpose. So up yours to you guys. Boonville, Odessa, Oak Grove, Richmond, and Maryville. For my district champions, give me Wright City over St. Charles West, Blair Oaks over Boonville, Odessa over Oak Grove. That was a close game already this season. I think Odessa won by 3. I think they do it again. And I will take Maryville over Richmond. That one was, I'm a little bit iffy on that. Maryville is 5-4 this year, but I do think that they're going to be able to get it done against Richmond. So the state quarterfinals, to make it to the Final Four, Blair Oaks will host Wright City. So I think they obviously get that one done over Wright City. And I will take the home team Maryville over Odessa. I could see that one going either way, if we're going to be honest. I could even see Richmond somehow making it to the Final Four, but I will take Maryville here. And Maryville and Blair Oaks play every single year. Every single year. It's been 2016 or 17 since Maryville beat Blair Oaks, so I don't care that it's up in Maryville. This game's probably not going to be close. They played in week 1 this year, and it was like 61-12, so we're going to see a little bit more of that. Blair Oaks will make it to Columbia. That would be Blair Oaks versus Dexter. I feel like Blair Oaks has the upper hand there. I'm sorry if you guys think that's bias. They're the number 1 team ranked in the media polls for a reason. They are the number 1 team. They're going to win the state championship. Let's waste no time. The left side of the bracket. Give me this Friday, North County, Perryville, Hillsboro, Union, Sullivan, Pacific, Osage, Kirksville, Hannibal, Logan Rogersville, Carl Junction, and Monette. In the district semifinals, I'll take Festus, Hillsboro, Gateway, Sullivan, Warrenton, Kirksville over Hannibal. That one could be wrong. Hannibal's won almost every single game for the past 30 years. Kirksville finally broke the streak this year. I will take them winning a second time this year. Give me West Plains and Carl Junction. For my district champs, I will take Festus over Hillsboro. They've already played this year. Festus won by 7 points. But I think Hillsboro is somewhat on a downward slope, if we're going to be honest. So I will take Festus to win the district championship. Gateway versus Sullivan. I like Sullivan in this one. Gateway is 9-0, but they've played a very, very weak schedule. So I think that's going to come back on them, and I think Sullivan is the better team. Warrenton and Kirksville. I think Warrenton wins this game. This is a very tough district. This may be the toughest district in all of Class 4. I like how Warrenton is playing, though, this year. They are 9-0. I think they continue to roll, and they beat either Kirksville or Hannibal, whoever they meet in the district championship. And I will take Carl Junction over West Plains. West Plains is an iffy team. Carl Junction, they're pretty bad last year. They're doing okay this year, so I will ride with Carl Junction in this one. To make it to the Final Four, on the road, I think Festus defeats Sullivan. I like how Festus is playing this year. And, Warrenton, very, very, very long drive to Carl Junction. I don't think that ends up being a problem. I'm going to continue to ride with Warrenton. And to make it to the state championship game in Columbia, I think Warrenton ends up defeating Festus at home to make it to Columbia. On the right side of the bracket this week, give me Jennings, Miller Career Academy, University City, Fort Zumwalt East, Orchard Farm, Westminster Christian Academy, which I will be at that game, by the way, Harrisonville, Warrensburg, Nevada, Van Horn, Smithville, and Savannah. For the district semifinals, I'll take Lutheran North, University City, Parkway North, Orchard Farm, Pleasant Hill, Warrensburg, Kearney, and Smithville. For my district champions, obviously Lutheran North over University City. This is the easiest district in all of Class 4, if we're going to be honest. And I will take Orchard Farm on the road over Parkway North. I got to watch Parkway North this year, and they're a solid team, but I think Orchard Farm's on a roll. They're 8-1. I think they're going to continue to ride that hot streak. I'll take Warrensburg over Pleasant Hill. This one I'm really iffy on. I got to watch Warrensburg as well. They ended up beating Odessa 50-42 in that game. It was Odessa's homecoming. I liked how they were playing, so I got to continue with Warrensburg. I'll take Kearney over Smithville in the district championship. Kearney's had Smithville's number these past few years. I think that continues. To make it to the Final Four, I think Lutheran North goes to Orchard Farm and takes care of business quite easily. And Kearney will be hosting Warrensburg. I don't know if that will be too much of a challenge, so give me Kearney. In the Final Four, this one is a tough game. Number 2 ranked in the media polls, Kearney, will host number 1 in the media polls, Lutheran North. This would be a great state championship game. Unfortunately, they are on the same side of the bracket, so we have to see it in the Final Four instead of the championship game. Even though Lutheran North is traveling across the state, that is scary. I think they get this one done. They're hot. They just beat my personal number 1 in the state, Cardinal Ritter. That drops them off of their throne. That was 35 straight wins for Cardinal Ritter, snapped by Lutheran North this past Friday. I think Lutheran North gets that one done. In the state championship game in Columbia, it would then be Lutheran North versus Warrenton. I'm going to take Lutheran North as my Class 4 state champions. We are now on to Class 5. So let's throw the left side of the bracket up on the screen. In Week 10, I will take St. Mary's, Cape Central, Farmington, Washington, Lafayette Wildwood, Rockwood Summit, Camdenton, Capital City, Lebanon, Glendale, Republic, and Parkview. For the district semifinals, I like Cardinal Ritter, Cape Central, Eureka, Lafayette Wildwood, Helias, Capital City, Branson, and Republic. Now, this is where it starts to get a little gritty. All 8 of these teams are really solid. So, for my district champions, give me Cardinal Ritter over Cape Central. That's going to be a really fun game. Eureka over Lafayette Wildwood. That one already happened this year in the regular season. The scoreboard doesn't say it, but this was a really close game. I think it was like 30-15, but it played a lot closer than that. I think Eureka gets it done for a second time. One that did not play close on the scoreboard or in the game this season was Helias versus Capital City. This one is going to end up being for a district championship, part 2. I think Helias gets it done and wins the second time around as well. And I will take Republic beating Branson, being the first and only loss of the season for the Pirates. I like Branson this year. They're a good team, but I feel like Republic's just a little bit better. In the state quarterfinals, to make it to the Final Four, Eureka would end up hosting Cardinal Ritter. I think Ritter ends up winning this game. You know, I believe they met last year, if I'm not wrong, and Ritter ended up winning that. I think they do it again. And a rematch from last year's state quarterfinals, Republic would host Helias. Republic actually hosted Helias last year, and Republic ended up winning that one. I think Helias gets their revenge and makes it to the Final Four. In the Final Four, Helias would end up hosting Cardinal Ritter. You know, that's another one that Helias would end up looking for revenge. You know, they ended up losing by 1 point to Cardinal Ritter in the regular season. I believe that was last year. I think Cardinal Ritter gets it done, though. I think they make it back to Columbia. On the right side of the bracket, in Week 10, give me Ladue, MICDS, Chaminade, Fort Zumwalt West, Liberty, Wentzville, North Point, Neosho, Grain Valley, Webb City, Central St. Joseph, St. Pius X, and Fort Osage. In the district semifinals, I like Hazelwood East, MICDS, Fort Zumwalt North, Liberty, Wentzville, Carthage, Grain Valley, Platte County, and St. Pius X. For my district champions, I'm a fan of Hazelwood East. I think everybody knows that. I was up there this year. They ended up getting the win on a Thursday night. They were playing Parkway North. You know, I got along great with Coach Cole. He's an amazing guy. But, you know, I think MICDS is the better team. I'm sorry. I think MICDS is the better team. I think they end up winning the district championship. I will take Fort Zumwalt North in the district championship over Liberty Wentzville. You know, Liberty is on a roll, but I feel like Fort Zumwalt North is just better overall. I'll take Carthage over Grain Valley, and Platte County versus St. Pius X will probably end up being the game of the week for the district championships in every single class, if we're going to be honest. That one's going to be fun. I think Platte County gets it done. In the Elite 8, the state quarterfinals, Fort Zumwalt North would end up hosting MICDS. I think North wins that one at home. And I will take another home team, Platte County, over Carthage. That one's going to be fireworks. In the Final Four, that means that Platte County would end up hosting Fort Zumwalt North. That's another, you know, cross the state game. You know, North would be going across the state to Platte County. I think that Platte County ends up winning that game. They are number 2 in the media polls right now. I think that stands true. And in the final game, the state championship in Class 5 in Columbia, it would end up being Cardinal Ritter versus Platte County. I feel like we know my answer there. Give me Cardinal Ritter with the three-peat. We are on to Class 6 now. The left side of the bracket. This Friday, I don't think there are any Saturday games. So this Friday, Week 10, give me Oakville, Lindbergh, Marquette, Ozark, and Lee Summit West. For the district semifinals, I like Seckman, Jackson, CBC, Kirkwood over Francis Howell. You know, that one, I don't know. You know, I think Kirkwood wins that game. I'll take Nixa, Joplin, Lee Summit North, and Rockhurst over Lee Summit. You know, some people may not agree with that one, if we're going to be honest. Lee Summit is a good team. I think Rockhurst is just a little bit better. To win the district championships, I think Jackson gets it done over Seckman. Seckman is 9-0, but I think they played a little bit of a weak schedule, if we're going to be honest. I'm sorry to be so transparent there. I'll take Jackson. I will take CBC over Kirkwood. That will be a really fun game. You know, CBC, they're definitely in the running for the state championship this year, so I will take CBC. Nixa and Joplin has already happened this year. Nixa blew them out of the water. I think they do it again. Give me Nixa with the district championship. And Lee Summit North versus Rockhurst. This is where, you know, some brackets may be busted. I think that Lee Summit North will get it done over Rockhurst, though. Rockhurst is kind of sneaky this year, if we're going to be honest. To make it to the Final Four, CBC would host Jackson. I believe this game happened last year. I don't know if it was in the state quarterfinals or earlier. I think CBC gets that one done, moves on to the Final Four. And Lee Summit North versus Nixa. This one is so hard to predict. I just had to go with the home team. I will take Lee Summit North. I can see Nixa winning this game. In the Final Four, this is another one that's hard to predict with CBC and Lee Summit North. I will take the home team again. Lee Summit North would host this one. I'll take them moving on to the state championship. On the right side of the bracket in Week 10, give me Pattonville, SLU, Hickman, Blue Springs, and Staley. In the district semifinals, I like DeSmet, SLU, Troy Buchanan, Rockbridge, Blue Springs South, Liberty North, Park Hill, and Oak Park. For my district champs, DeSmet and SLU, this has already happened. DeSmet ended up winning by 20, so obviously give me DeSmet in that one. Rockbridge versus 9-0 Troy. Troy's looking great this year, but I like how Rockbridge is looking. I will take Rockbridge in that game. Liberty North versus Blue Springs South. Blue Springs South is a really good team this year, but I feel like Liberty North is going to get that one done. And, Park Hill and Oak Park, I don't know. That one's not going to be the most entertaining game in the world, I believe. Park Hill already beat them this year, so give me Park Hill. In the state quarterfinals to make it to the Final Four, Rockbridge would end up hosting DeSmet, but if I'm not wrong, DeSmet has played them in the playoffs. This would be the third year in a row if it happens. DeSmet has won the past two, so give me a third one in a row. And Park Hill hosting Liberty North. I don't even know if that game would really be that close, and I'm not trying to crap on Park Hill. I like how they're looking this year, but I think Liberty North is a better team. With that being said, Liberty North would end up hosting DeSmet, but I think DeSmet would have the upper hand. I think they make it to the state championship game. This would leave me with Liberty North versus DeSmet. I'm gonna take DeSmet. That was just on the fly right there. I don't know. I left it between Lee Summit North and DeSmet. I was just kind of like, I'm gonna film and decide on the fly. I'm going to take DeSmet. I know I took Lee Summit North to beat Nixa and CBC. I think it ends in Columbia. Okay, so I decided to do an 8th part to this just for fun. I'm going to rank my state champions in confidence that it's going to happen. So to explain that a little further, got a little hair on my microphone here. Hold on. To explain that a little bit further, what I mean by that is, so like number 1, I'm the most confident in that pick out of everybody that they're going to win state. Number 7 means that I'm out of my 7 state champions, I'm the least confident that one actually happens. So, I may be, not doing myself a favor with this video, but let's go to the rankings. Number 7, the one that I'm least confident that actually happens has to be DeSmet in Class 6. They've got not the easiest route, if we're going to be honest. I took them beating, I think it was like SLU, and I think they ended up beating Rockbridge in my predictions and Liberty North to make it to the state championship game against Lee Summit North, who would have to go through Nixa and CBC. I kind of decided to actually pick that one on the fly. That was the only one out of the 7 that I had no clue going actually into the filming of it. So DeSmet, probably the one that I'm the least confident on. Number 6 has to be Bramer. They're a great team, but right now they're sitting at like 7 in the media polls for, who knows why. I think they are really good. I took them to win state, but they have to get through defending state champions Archie. Number 5, I'm going to have to say Blair Oaks. They just had both of their running backs go down for the season. That's a little scary. We'll see how that production is replaced. But if we're going to be honest, I legitimately think that they could get through the right side of the bracket with their 2s. Their backups could literally wipe out the right side of the bracket, beat literally every single team. The left side of the bracket is a little different with Dexter and Seneca. For number 4, I'll say Fairgrove in Class 2. They've got to either beat Bowling Green or Valley Catholic in the state championship game. I think Warsaw is also in the mix as well, if I'm not wrong. I think Fairgrove gets this one done. Number 3, I'm going to say Marionville in Class 1. They won last year. All their really amazing players are juniors this year. I think they get it done. Honestly, they could three-peat. Number 2, I'm going to say Lutheran North. The reason that I don't have them at 1 is because they have to travel to Kearney in the Final Four. That is scary. My number 1, obviously, is Cardinal Ritter in Class 5. I feel like that's the pick for everybody unless you're going to a certain Class 5 school and think that they're going to win. I think Cardinal Ritter is kind of the unanimous pick right now. So those are my rankings for my state champion picks. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. I know it's it's pieced together in like 8 parts, I guess 9 actually, because I just stopped recording and then went to do the outro for this right now because, I forgot to, and I kind of need an outro. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to have a really exciting night tonight. First round of the playoffs. This has been Missouri Sports Talk. See you next time.